Hey, Laura J in the backyard with my new microphone. Thank you, Michael, for the gift. And it's in front of all of these beautiful tulips and daffodils that my grandma had planted while she was alive, and then I planted where Grandpa and I could see all of these beautiful flowers while we eat our breakfast and whatever else at the table in the kitchen. So I am making this message now in this setting because I am working with Soulspath and the other facilitators and camp leads to put together an epic schedule for the Hub for Humankind happening May 17th to 19th weekend. I'm hoping this little furry muff is keeping the sound of the wind out from your ears. But I also wanted to say that when we come in with an intention or an agenda that is forceful, we can really come with our elbows out energetically. And I say that not in relation to the Hub for Humankind, which is designed to actually move beyond that energy, which is why the Camp for Authenticity that I'm helping to put together is going to really be largely emotionally oriented so that we actually are able to authentically come back into alignment with the now moment. And those who saw my post to Facebook where I changed my photo and said there was a vulnerable picture, you couldn't necessarily see what was going on under the surface of me and my smile, that I have been away from for a while in terms of my online contributions, because ultimately I found that it was taking me down to be putting out content when I needed to be more content with me in my now. And so that was what the last 3 weeks of integrating myself, my soul at a deeper level have been about. That said, the question of what's going on, what's wrong, Laura? And it's just like, I came back to me. But the parts that I hadn't been comfortable for before don't show up feeling loved, wanted, or welcome when they return. And so we have to earn our own respect. And that was what I was doing while I felt so uncomfortable over the last few weeks, while really getting grounded and just being where I am and not forcing anymore, elbows not being out. This reference to the elbows being out is also in relation to a message that I received on the Peaceful Inner Warriors United Assembly group, saying there's a Freedom Army forming, and everyone that has an organization listed with Freedom Rising, which Peaceful Inner Warriors United is there, are now being called to be an ally or the enemy. And I don't think people fully understand that the nervous system has a flight, fight, freeze, fawn, fornicate, fuck off mode. And if we are in those modes because we are freedom fighters, fighting means our nervous system is already flighting. We're not going to solution anything nor feel safe enough for someone else to actually want to be on the same side unless it's the CIDE of a suffix that's added to a word that actually is about death and destruction. It's dangerous to try to force someone to come on side when our nervous system isn't settled, for them to actually feel safe when they come. That's what the Hub for Humankind is designed to do. And that is why May 17th to 19th, we come together to solution storm, not brainstorm. The brain is where we stay the same because it's all we knew, so it's the best we could do. When we actually get into the soul, That's where we find the whole solution. We are the solution. The mind is only going to take us back to time. That is the illusion. The heart is where we start to be present, where we are, with whom we are, as we are. That feels so much better than saying, if you're not with us, you're against us. I don't want to be part of that club. I don't want to be part of a club that says that freedom fighters and followers that are doing the best that we can, I don't want to let the man that is faceless decide who my clan is anymore. And that's where I stand. I am going to respond to the notice that came through. And I'm going to do it in a colorful and flower-esque way, because that is how we actually say, we've all been doing the best that we can with what we've known. And we also have to see who's on the throne. Those wires in the sky, where oftentimes we'll see planes flying high, leaving X's in the sky. That's dangerous. The dogs bark because the dogs represent the matrix. We're matrix because she was doing the best that she could with what she knew. And now that we're starting to see the connection of the nervous system, what if we actually made some space to give ourselves and others grace, so that we see that the race to destruct and destroy ourselves is when haste makes waste. And that no longer needs be the case. 707 is a number of transformation. It's where it was on the clock when I said that. So, no longer do we need to dock the ears or the tails. We say, no, I will not hail Hitler or anyone else that is tyrannical and coercive in saying that if I'm not with them, I'm against them. I'm not against anyone that is real. What I am opposed to is the presentation of an office and the holder of that office to be one and the same when that is not. And we know it in the name, except for we haven't been getting past the blame, complain, and traits of victimhood that say we gotta be on the same team and we gotta do this my way. Okay, no. I don't think that that's probably, if we're in that forcing space, I think we need to actually see how much potential is behind me in the fields that have been plowed, because we've all been plowed down, mowed down by the insanity of all of this Ho-Town, where the prostitute, sacred archetype within us has been scared for a really long time, knowing the price at which we will do something not nice, because that was what the prostitute inside, when scared, will do. But it is also the prostitute, when in its sacred side, that becomes the guardian of choice, knowing what we will not draw, where we will not draw further than the line that we have drawn in the sand of our own clan. So, I'm not going to say this is my official response to the coercive notice that was sent by wire on Telegram to the Peaceful Inner Warriors United Assembly group today. But I will say, I will be speaking into the patterns underneath of the problems that are trying to be discovered, because when we get to the pattern, then we can actually see what the problems are built off of. And that is where we take our power back and shift those aspects of us that are still part of us into their sacred side instead of the scared side. What does sacred mean to you? If it doesn't mean anything, that would be a really good place to start, I believe. And I hope that you will come to the Hub for Humankind. May 17th to 19th. It's going to be epic. It's going to be different. It's going to be unscripted and authentic, organic, and it's necessary. So, will you get yourself in the room? I guess we'll find out.